I don't need you filming me talking to my opponent and stuff like that. There's a couple things that are too far for me.
I think we've got too comfortable. I think we're too comfortable now in talking about our business, and I struggle on these podcasts too.
Oh yeah,
because it's hard to talk. It's hard to talk and tell stories without without lifting it up a little bit. But I think we've gone too far. And again, I understand.
Yeah,
everyone knows what it is what we do, but there's got to be a little bit of mystery.
It seems the Heels Advocate has to make this follow-up video because things have gotten even crazier ever since LA Knight came out and said what he said about Triple H and WWE Unreal, how everything backstage is now wired up, mic'd up, camered up. You can't look left, right, you can't do anything without you feeling trapped in that company. So, as you guys just saw, The Undertaker had come out. And now we're going to see a few other people comment on the matter. But first, I want to talk about Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, for example, had no idea that they were recording and talking about her on the episode that she came out to promote for season 2. And pretty much, this is kind of old news by now, but Michael Hayes, like Triple H's like second right-hand man or whatever, he came out and he said that Chelsea Green's job is to be a jobber. Chelsea Green's job is to be a jobber. And you know what's funny about this? Chelsea Green had no idea about all of this. So talk about privacy. Talk about keeping your talent in the loop of the content that they're supposed to be producing. Talk about that. And then you go out of your way and you bury your own talent. And then you expect your talent to go on a freaking, pretty much media tour, which she did. But she didn't even know what Michael Hayes said about her. Hell, what the entire board of writers said about her. They said, look, Chelsea, she's a jobber. She is no Tiffany Stratton, as if Tiffany Stratton is somebody. She's no Charlotte Flair, okay, whatever. But come on. And you expect her to come out on freaking media tours and promote the product. And she did do that. It's sad. Let's see what CM Punk said about this as well.
Theater. Are you a part of Unreal Season 2?
I don't know.
Chelsea Green came in to promote it yesterday and said she just found out she's on it. So,
well, see, there you go. I know they were asking me to do an interview for it, and they were like, "We're gonna do the interview here," and I kept saying, "No, I'm not gonna. You got to do it here. I can do it here." And we never did the interview, so I don't know if that means I'm not in it. But I also there's a camera in my face everywhere I go. So I'm sure I'll pop up.
Is that weird?
And that is exactly what happened. They pretty much did not get the interview from CM Punk. I watched the entire season of Unreal Season 2, and I got first of all, I didn't make a recap video on Season 2 because it was that garbage. But the thing that I will say is this. How did Season 1 end with the heel turn, Cena getting the freaking title and being victorious at Mania? And then we go into Season 2, and all you see is freaking Becky Lynch, what's his name, Cole or Luke or whatever, Colton, whatever Seth Rollins' real name is, and then how they're preparing to get not Rhea Ripley, man, Becky Lynch back into the WWE. And I'm like, okay, next episode. And I'm seeing Chelsea Green talk about her building up a new beautiful home. You know what I'm saying? Okay, whatever. Next episode, no Cena. Third episode, no Cena. No, bro, where was Cena? The only reason why we even gave a damn about Unreal is to see how the intricacies worked for him to turn heel. So, as Sam Roberts just said, he said pretty much, yeah, Chelsea Green came in a few days ago and she didn't even know if she was in the episode or not. Crazy, bro. Crazy that then she had to sit down and pretty much hear her bosses bury her on freaking Netflix. That has about 400 million freaking subscribers, bro. All right. Now, she did obviously come out and say that Michael Hayes apologized to her for comments that she made about that episode. And then later, Michael Hayes appeared on Undertaker's podcast, and then he kind of tried to backtrack a little bit. He tried to say, well, we didn't really quite mean it in that way. Chelsea Green is definitely very talented. She's got a lot to offer, but the sentiment was already there, right? Not only was a sentiment there, you perpetuated that notion by coming out with the full freaking interview. You sit down in front of those 8K cameras and say, yeah, Chelsea Green is not a Tiffany Stratton. Who the fuck is Tiffany Stratton, bro? Like, all due respect, bro. I'm saying, like, come on, bro.
Real quick, I'm going to wrap up in a sec. But as somebody, especially, I mean, I guess, you know, to go from like doing shoot interviews in the back of an arena somewhere or in a hotel room, telling stories about Homicide or whoever, to now have like cameras following you around in a WWE locker room. Is it a weird thing to get used to, or do you just go, this is the reality of the world we live in?
I mean, it's the reality of the world that I work in.
Yeah.
And you know, I know me. I share the sentiment with a few guys on the roster. I'm not super thrilled about it.
Yeah.
But if I don't want to shoot something, I just
boom. Where is the freaking soundboard? Hold on. Let's hear it again from CM Punk.
I'm not super thrilled about it.
Boom!
If I don't want to shoot something, I just go, don't shoot it.
Right.
Right. So like CM Punk says to the camera crew, yo, man, if this cannot be on the show, I'm going to tell you, hey, cut the cameras.
I know there's cameras waiting here. I'll go walk somewhere else.
That is crazy. You know what that means? Like, let me go walk somewhere else. He means I'm not going to go back to Gorilla. That's pretty much what LA Knight said himself. All right, let's just, refresh the memory of those who haven't seen the clip.
Frustrations about that situation that partially had to do with the finish, but more so had to do with a more overarching theme that I don't need to get into the weeds about. I had no idea that I was on a microphone at that point in time. And so with that being the case, I don't even stop there in Gorilla anymore. I had my own frustration.
He doesn't even stop at Gorilla. CM Punk avoids Gorilla if he doesn't want to be on it. And he even came out and said that, like, look, pretty much, man, like in that situation in LA Knight, obviously, he said, look, I had a lot of things to say about that situation, but I just kind of held my tongue, because that is the environment that they're kind of in now. Instead of it being a remote, secluded area for talent only, now it's become a part of almost a reality show, right? The WWE went from trying to kayfabe, trying to protect, all the mystery, all the storylines, all the characters behind the curtain, to now almost being a freaking full-time reality TV show. And the thing about reality TV, it's that it's always pretty much fake. You know what I'm saying? So that is New Age kayfabe. I've been a big advocate of that. I've been saying, hey man, look, kayfabe is now dead the way it was. But now we can kind of play into the New Age kayfabe a little bit more. How was that? We just got to work WWE Unreal. We got to work the backstage camera stuff. We got to work everything now. So LA Knight also additionally said this during the interview. I have definitely shifted the way I do things because you had mentioned my appearance on WWE Unreal. I was majorly holding my tongue in that scenario, if you could tell, which obviously, he was like nodding up and down when Triple H was yapping, because I had my own frustrations about the situation that partially had to do with the finish, but more so with the overarching theme that I don't want to get in the weeds of right now. And then he goes on to say, if they want to talk to me about my match or whatever happened out there, sure, let's talk about it. Yeah. When there is not a microphone or a camera around though, because that is the way it has always been. And with that being the case, I'm not going to stop and leave myself susceptible to that. This is the position WWE talent are in, my brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? They go back. They have no privacy, right? Rhea Ripley talked about this as well. Ripley came out and said this about WWE Unreal. She said, it was really strange while having the camera crew around as well, because you're so used to all of this being top secret and hidden. And now you just let it all really just, be filmed. And she did not know how to react to it sometimes. Like, some of the questions were just wild to me. But at the same time, it is a growing business and people are now noticing how the business works. Are they now realizing that? I don't know, but hey. And they see us together at airports. They see us together when we go out. So they know that behind the scenes, we do talk to each other and we do hang out. We are all a family, but now it's like you're seeing us in the workplace doing just that as well. Now, as you guys heard at the beginning of the video, Undertaker was really, really, upset about this, and rightfully so, bro. People want to call him like a hypocrite. Yeah, bro, Undertaker, how can you be mad at it? But at the same time, you bring out people and talk about stuff on your podcast, bro. They're talking about stories when they were drinking at bars and stuff like that. If Michelle McCool lets them get to that point, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to that podcast, but still. that is the case. And I'm going to show you guys a clip of what Undertaker was talking about. So this was during their WrestleMania match. I think it was WrestleMania 32. They're checking into a hotel, and obviously everybody's being filmed for the documentary. And suddenly Roman Reigns will appear next to the Undertaker.
You know, it's just like
boom. Did you guys hear what he said?
Kayfabe 10 minutes.
Okay. And
Really? You really can't kayfabe 10 minutes? Wow.
He said, really? You can't keep kayfabe in for 10 minutes? Wow, you really cannot keep in kayfabe for 10 minutes? And then Roman Reigns brushes him off.
Screw your camera guy. I was
Boom, damn. He says, damn. Screw the camera guy.
trying to figure out.
Wow. You know, that is The Undertaker. You know, obviously it was kind of lighthearted, but some jokes are delivered in a joking manner, but carry the truth. Understand? And some things are not to be joked about. For example, Rhea Ripley coming out and discusses pretty much the weird aspects of WWE Unreal. And bro, like, she's getting filmed having anxiety attacks. But, you know, let me just get to this quote right here. She says, it's just like the little private stuff, like what we're basing on before, like where I am talking to my opponents. That's just weird stuff that you see the camera crew filming. And you're like, maybe I should not be too in-depth about these. Like, she's talking about the match, right? About the match setup. Maybe I should be a little jaded or just not over the top like I would be, you know, out of fear for the camera crew, you know, like, you know, kind of like sneaking closer and closer and closer, trying to get maybe something that sounded a little bit interesting. But then she goes out also to talk about, on I believe maybe episode 2 or 3, season 1, she came out and she talked about, you know, suffering from anxiety attacks backstage at events before she walks out, right? Then she goes out to say that it was not hard to speak candidly in front of the camera, but did feel strongly about filming in the ring, right? If you guys watch that episode, you could literally see like Rhea Ripley stressing and panicking and like, oh my God, you know, like her hands are shaking, and she's in a position that nobody else is in the company aside from Cody. But, you know, frick Cody, man, at this point, right? I'm talking about the female division and Rhea Ripley herself. She is literally in a position that she only her is in. Like, if Rhea Ripley fails to become an even bigger star, nobody else can really break through anymore. Like, who really breaks through the mainstream anymore? Jade Cargill, she has a good appearance, but there is just not that, like, boom, straight in your face media coverage for Jade. There just isn't, you know? And Rhea Ripley obviously tapped into the, like, whole goon bait, you know, medium with the mommy stuff, and then the, you know, licking Dominic's face. And, you know, obviously that stuff will go viral, right? You know, it will. But still, that was the way things had to be for her to be the biggest female star there is. So there is going to be a lot of pressure on her shoulders every time she walks out to a freaking match, especially when they immediately go out and, you know, after a match, go on their phones and check like all the reactions to it. And, you know, if they botch, then they're like, ah, man, maybe I'm not going to go on Twitter today. But, you know, that is really what it is. Then also, CM Punk on another interview said, I do not necessarily know if the peek behind the curtains is needed. Our fans are smart. I think they're intelligent. I think they tune in to be entertained. He's talking about tuning into the weekly shows on TV to be entertained. Yes, obviously that is true. But there is also an element of entertainment that WWE Unreal should provide, and that should be a work, all right? Now, it should be a work with the workers, with the talent. You know, LA Knight should not be pulling up backstage, or Tiffany Stratton should be like pulling up backstage to Gorilla and be blasted with cameras like in the freaking corner, and they don't even know that they're filming. Like, some guy commented, how the hell did LA Knight not know that he's being filmed when, or like whatever. It's like, bro, okay, of course there are going to be camera crews and camera people backstage, but the fact of the matter is this: Triple H was mic'd up. You know what I'm saying? Triple H was mic'd up, and you're going backstage after you supposedly botched a spot in the match. I don't honestly, that I'm thinking about it, what the hell did he even botch? Oh, he didn't climb the freaking ladder with Seth Rollins so that you can look goofy and get punched down and then he can go and grab it, bro. Just hit me with the curb stomp, go grab the freaking briefcase, and let me just get out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already like the 3rd year in a row. He's already frustrated with things, and he doesn't really know what the future holds for him. Like, every single time he competed in the Money in the Bank, every single winner ended up being complete garbage. So it's like, damn, bro, why am I being their freaking stepping stone? Obviously, I would be frustrated as well. But seeing the writer's room and seeing how this sausage is made, it may just give them a greater appreciation of how hard our job really is, CM Punk says, okay? Then he also goes on to say this.
Right.
you know, I am fascinated with the show. I watched the first season and I really, really liked it because I thought it kind of brought a human element to like Charlotte or Rhea,
yes,
or even me to an extent. And I think that can be great. I don't need you filming me talking to my opponent and stuff like that. There's a couple things that are too far for me.
Yeah, so basically that is the whole point. There is something that we can take from WWE Unreal. It has a place, but it shouldn't become tasteless. You understand? It shouldn't get to a point where it's a little bit like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just because you can grab this little piece of info shouldn't mean that you should. You know what I'm saying? So that is pretty much the whole point that CM Punk's trying to make, right? Keep some things kind of hidden. Keep some things kind of separate from the entertainment side of WWE Unreal, the content side of WWE Unreal, right? It should only be providing content, further explanation. That is why season 1 was so good because, you know, let's see how things are going to evolve backstage. How did we get to the point where Cena turned heel? Okay, season 1 was great. Season 2 was complete garbage. You know what I'm saying? Freaking gossip mill, if you will. And then we get to the position where now Undertaker is upset about it. CM Punk is upset about it because let me tell you this, CM Punk is completely right. Even Rhea Ripley, like in that little quote that I read, she talked about, you know, for example, I'll be talking to my opponent before I walk out, and then I see the freaking Netflix crew come out and like zoom in with their cameras, like, you know, maybe I should not talk about the details of the match and just, you know, call it out there. No, that is kind of like annoying. It doesn't even serve any purpose anyway. But for me, what really jaded me was, for example, when Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton had that segment, I was like, oh man, that was W, man. You know what I'm saying? They kind of went off the hook, kind of went off script. They kind of shot from the hip. I was like, that's pretty cool, you know? Like, oh damn, you know, that's kind of real. And it was real. And then I look back at the episode on Unreal. I immediately see Triple H go out there and be like, yo, Tiffany, you can't do that. That was off script. Now you have to go and apologize to Charlotte. Oh my days. You have to go and apologize to Charlotte? You have to go and apologize to Charlotte? What are we doing here? Aren't we storytellers? We tell stories? You know what I'm saying? We don't do that no more. Rich from the guy that created this whole thing, WWE Unreal. Oh, let's go behind the scenes. Let's go viral. Let's go, you know, viral on social media. Triple H created WWE Unreal. And then when they get real, he tries to immediately tamper it. It's funny, bro. Also, the same guy that did the whole curtain call as well. It's pretty funny, bro. But on another breaking development on the story is that WWE TKO Group has now come out and announced a collaboration with, what is it called? Front Office Sports, FOS. They will start collaborating from WrestleMania 42 onward for exclusive behind-the-scenes content similar to what WWE Unreal has been doing, my brothers and sisters. So let's just quickly read it. It's going to be the same premise as WWE Unreal, by the way, just like, you know, backstage vlogging, documentary style stuff. So they go out to say, Front Office Sports is a leader in the coverage of business of sports, and we're excited to collaborate with the WWE. What am I tripping for, man? Hold on a minute. Here it is. WWE and FOS will collaborate on the creative development and execution of storytelling projects surrounding their PLEs, including Mania and other big ones from there on forward. Now, this is just them doubling down on it, bro. Your talent is saying, bro, keep some privacy. Bro, don't expose everything too much now, right? It's cool. WWE, you know, we're on Netflix, right? You know, we're about to go viral, as you like to say. You know, we did big numbers on social. You know what I'm saying? It's all social now, by the way. It's just social. It's not social media. It's not the internet. It's not online. No. It's social. How about your best friend Kevin Nash going out on social and saying that they should put the title on LA Knight? How about that, right? Kevin Nash went out and said, I'll tell you what, we gave LA Knight a lot of shit earlier on the show, that he was a copycat and anything like that. And I really appreciate him now. He is a freaking solid hand. The people like him. He would definitely be on my list of the guys to give a run to give a world championship run to. The problem is he is a babyface. His work has always been solid. I was just going to say also that freaking guy is also in really great shape. Now, I don't know why that him being a babyface is a problem, but, you know, Kevin Nash knows the business better than me, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I would ask him, he would explain. But, you know, I'm probably going to assume that he's just going to talk about, like, the fact that he's a babyface, Cody is a babyface, Roman Reigns is a babyface. So, like, the only reason that you should be on their level is by beating them and it's really hard to get over on those guys when they themselves are over. So you have to automatically be the counter to them to be able to have a match against them that could allow you to win the title off of them. That's what I would assume he would mean with this, but still, where are they going to go with LA Knight? You know what I'm saying? Like, he sparked this whole thing, and this was the biggest talking point of the entire season 2, by the way, as well. And I also believe it is really a big problem when your top talent don't even know that you're filming, bro.
You can't play dumb forever because you eventually have to run the play, right? But I've noticed that some of my favorites aren't the loudest in the room, you know, and also they're not, even with Netflix being here, there, everywhere, they're not performing for that, right? That's one of the cool things about Unreal, at least in my experience with them, is, yeah, you're getting me.
Because half the Unreal, I didn't even know they was recording.
Filming you, yeah.
Poor Jey Uso, man. He was probably out there freaking drinking. You know what I'm saying? Walking in the cars with Jada Parker, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. I hope that's not being filmed. Oops. My boy. But now let's just finish up on with CM Punk and...
but also, nobody's got a gun to your head.
Right.
You don't got to watch it.
Yeah, that's true too.
Why are you commenting on, I hate this. I hate this so much. Tomorrow I'm going to review season 2.
You know what I'm saying? That is not what the Heels Advocate did. You know what I'm saying? Did I hate season 2? I did, but I didn't hate it because the concept. I'm not against the concept, obviously, but I am against the unnecessary dwelling of the minute intricacies of maybe some gossip that happens, or some match or this and that. I don't know. I some things I want to see. I want to see more of the writing room. I want to see more of the writing room battles, creative brainstorms, and maybe the reactions of Triple H to the crowd when he's getting booed. I don't really want to see how CM Punk, Cena, Rollins kind of came up with the match for the Elimination Chamber. It's cool the first time that we saw it for season 1, but then we see season 2, and we go and have a big flashback. And it's bro, we ended off at WrestleMania. Let's please continue on from WrestleMania forward. Oh yeah, okay, heel, we will do that. But with Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Chelsea Green. Oh hell no, my brothers and sisters, I gotta go.